Yeah, I'm gonna be breathing heavy in this video, I can tell. My general lack of condition. Yeah. Well, it's so funny that the trailhead is at the Casita.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, take 3. Oh my gosh, Buck. This is like my 3rd attempt at this. This camera keeps going out on me. But anyway, I'm making this this video. Well, first of all, welcome back. This is my kind of channel, and I felt compelled to make this video to answer some questions my friend Buck from Australia was asking on a live stream last night. And part of what he was talking about is my content not being as marginal as I think it is. So we'll just agree to disagree on that. But continuing, the other thing that I've been shooting a ton of, because since last February, not the one just passed, but a year and a month ago, Dana and I have been hitting national parks and I didn't even think to tell you, Buck, but to publish video from a national park in the United States up until about a month ago was you had to obtain a permit, and if they caught you posting stuff on YouTube from a national park, they'd hem you up, and I don't exactly know what the consequences would be. Sorry, the wind's blowing real strong here, but anyway, they would you just couldn't do it. You could film all you wanted and like share it with your family or friends or whatever, but you couldn't post it for profit, basically. And even if you have a channel like mine, which I guess technically could be monetized at this point, but is not, they still view YouTube as a commercial operation, or they did. Well, anyway, there was a bill passed, and the name of it slips my mind, but that changed the rules. And so now I have a ton of footage that I'll probably try to throw together. But springing forward to today, I kind of described to you, Buck, and for you, the viewing audience, what we've been up to. And currently, Dana and I are camped at a national monument called Hovenweep National Monument, which is very similar to a national park. It's administered in much the same way. The only real difference I can tell is that it's much smaller than your standard national park, and the other thing is that the hiking is available with our dog, Xena. So anyway, we did some hikes, and if you're interested in an out-of-the-way spot, Hovenweep Campground is right in the National Monument. That's currently where I'm at. You can see the cool little lattice work behind me from the sunshade, and hopefully a wind block enough for me to get this video done. But anyway, we got here about 4 days ago, and we didn't have a real plan other than to see the sites here, which are ruins. They're not prehistoric. They're a couple thousand years old. They're native ruins, but it's pretty incredible what these guys got up to, and the cliff dwellings. And actually in this section was not cliff dwellings. It was actually on the sides of cliffs, kind of like, almost like stuff you would see in Europe and Ireland, Europe, like dry stacking and using mud to kind of as the mortar for the bricks, but they're hand chipped bricks. But the amazing part of this campground is directly to my left here, about 100 yards, is some of these ruins, and then you can kind of drive throughout the monument and hike relatively short hikes to access these. And in some cases you need 4-wheel drive, but some of the places we've seen, and sorry I didn't take any notes for this video, not that I ever do, but I do have the pamphlet here, and due to my age I've got to put on my cheaters, my goggles here. But we saw several of the sites here. I believe the Twin Towers is right outside camp, the eroded boulder house, Rimrock house. We've seen most at Hovenweep Square Tower, Hovenweep Castle, and the Stronghold House. So as you can see, I named off most of them. But here, I got to hold my tripod because the wind's going to blow you guys over. But anyway, follow along. I've got some clips and I've got a variety of things. The other thing we did while we were here is it's about an hour away from Mesa Verde National Park. We did spend a little bit of time yesterday in Mesa Verde. Mesa Verde is your classic, iconic cliff dwellings. Unfortunately, the trails down to the cliff dwellings well, you're only allowed to go there on a tour and those tours were closed. However, you did get a good view of them, and I got some cell phone shots and some other video of that little adventure. But follow along. I'll do my best to chime back in. I want to throw this in the editor, and we'll see you at the end. I think I did an outro. Well, I did it about an hour ago while we were hiking on our last hike. But I appreciate you watching. Hopefully this turns out. I am not a camera gear guy, so we'll see how the audio and all the stuff looks and sounds. If you're here for Casita content, there'll be more of that coming up right out of your view. In fact, I can probably just pivot you guys, and that's that's Dana in the Casita. Sorry, I got a pretty technical setup going on here, but anyway. So no, this I would highly encourage. This has been one of my favorite camping experiences. The campground's quiet. It's only about 20 spots. It's really out of the way, so I don't think even in the summertime it will be camped out. You'll have to consult the online whatever. And all credit to Dana. She booked this site. She knew that Mesa Verde was going to be kind of booked out. We're headed to Moab next to meet up with my brother and his wife, and so maybe I'll shoot a little bit of content there. But again, I have high hopes for this, and thank you, Buck. I never realized that anybody would possibly watch my videos that would actually want to see what's going on. So we will chat soon. When I get back home, I'll give you a call. But to the rest of you guys, happy trails. Stay tuned for more marginal content. I'm going to get off here before this camera blows over. I hope you enjoy the video. And again, roll the clips. Do something. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm a bust. So we'll see you soon. Actually, we won't see you soon. We'll see you again at the outro. We're bravely scrambling down this rocky path. Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be breathing heavy in this video, I can tell. My general lack of condition. Yeah. Well, it's so funny that the trailhead is at the Casita.
Oh, yeah. Is that when you go down?
Yeah. Ruins Trail. Now, is this a loop then?
It's a loop.
Okay.
Yeah, and that one's like nothing.
Oh, really?
No, I mean, coming up, look at.
Oh, yeah.
That's Twin Towers. Look at that one right over there. The Rimrock House. Then look at the eroded Boulder House.
Yeah. Well, and you can see Twin Towers from our camp.
Yeah.
Is I think what we're looking at.
Yes. But look at that Boulder House, how cool it is.
Is that the one down below on the side of
the one that's...
Yeah, where it's got the support columns.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Backpack for her that has the thing for her that has little pockets and she can
make
her own poop.
Yeah. We just had a little poop cleanup on aisle 1. So this is where we hike around?
We're hiking around to the other side.
Yeah.
And then eventually we go down the canyon and then up the other side.
Oh, nice. Sounds cool.
See, all those ruins you can see, like from the campground. We'll go past them over here.
Oh, okay.
And see them. I think it's like maybe 2 miles total.
Okay. So some little rock scrambles and up and down, so not terribly technical. And
no.
Not... Yeah, when I packed this backpack, I was packing for the 7-mile hike.
Oh, well, we can go. We can still do that.
No, we're good. We've committed.
I would like to do the other place
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Well, and to think they had the skill, you know, because that's masonry, basically.
Yeah.
Not even basically. It's,
It is.
you know, a regular masonry wall only several thousand years ago. Yeah, this might rival some of the national parks we've been to. And we're 10 minutes out of camp.
I know.
Like 10 minutes walking out of camp. Oh my gosh.
Well, I think the Western people might have adopted their.
Well, Western in the sense of these were, you know, if these were ruins in Italy or Germany or, you know, just the technique of the building is so consistent.
Yeah.
You know, it's basically kind of like you see in Ireland and Scotland where they stack rocks and use very basic mortars and things like that. But this has survived for thousands of years. No, it's a nice little trail.
It is very
little uneven.
A little, just a little. I already did it once today.
Yeah.
How they decided, I guess, which ones were going to be round and which ones were going to be square.
Building code. Yeah. Many thousands of years, the very first building inspectors got into the mix and they were like, nope. You're a hunter-gatherer, so you get a square one. Anybody in the ag department, you get the round ones. Defense and logistics, round.
Is that like a little door hole right there?
Yeah, it appears to be, or semi-bricked up, maybe a window. Well, you can see all the slit or the
the little
holes. I wonder if they
light in.
maybe, or they had wood like cross beams inside.
Yeah.
For rafters or floors, or although they
something.
don't on this one, they're kind of out of line. But it's hard to, you know, who knows? We'll have to check with the permits department of ancient ruins and see what sort of permits they pulled. Yeah, that'll really be the indicator. But yeah, like that little hole right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
like you can see it from this side right here. Go over there and look, like you can.
Zena, are you coming with me?
Stop. You know, I don't know. Maybe that was their like little border point.
Yeah, well, it makes a lot of sense. You know, the only thing that it would interrupt is, you know, if you're moving refrigerators and stuff in there, then that'd be a little technical. But, you know, if you're defending against, you know, other folks, then it would make sense to have a tiny door because it would be easy to, that'd be a choke point, right? Yep. So I can kind of see, well, and for loss of heat and...
Well, it gets cold here, so, you know, it's a big door, they kind of put whatever wood up there when they're inside.
Right, it would be easier to block, basically. What do you think?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely where I lose an action camera over the edge of that thing.
It doesn't make any sense, does it? Other than, I mean, it's like the head big critter down here that's on YouTube with that.
There was.
Not as interesting.
Oh, it's right there. Oh. Oh, wow. What's that? Yeah. say not to climb on the walls, but I think they might be just, yeah.
Tree of life growing in the middle. Cool. Like adventuring.
Yeah, this is a little more difficult than I planned. Simultaneously trying to maneuver the camera and
Do you want me to
walk
hold
her.
something?
No, it'll add spice to our production. We're in search of a castle built thousands of years ago. Come on, Beans, you're getting distracted. And I'm trying to maneuver a camera and a dog simultaneously. Oh, well, it appears we've located a small castle. Which is pretty cool. And we've turned a corner and located an actual castle. My gosh. Check this out. Yeah, that took some fortitude. Built right on top of a rock. Pretty amazing. Whoa! Not without climbing gear. All right, let's go, Zines. We'll see where this leads. Probably to our death, but we'll see. Maybe not to our death. That might be a little extreme. Come on, don't go in the closed area. You're making us look bad. Come on. We'll get some drone footage. She does not like being number 2. We just saw the Holly ruins, and we've been here 3 or 4 days, something like that. It's Sunday. Tomorrow we're headed down to Moab, but I thought I would kind of end this video in that, you know, this is just one part of our trip, but I want to try to break it up into smaller bits. I've had trouble editing some of the other places we've been, but that's my problem, not yours. Anyway, we're currently staying in Hovenweep, and we had a great time here. We saw a variety of ruins that are thousands of years old. Really cool construction, and fortunately for us, mostly due to Dana's planning, we were able to secure a campsite that was within an easy drive to the Four Corners Monument, which is where Nevada, Utah, where are we at? Colorado, and somewhere else are. What are the 4 states, honey?
Huh?
The 4 states at Four Corners?
In New Mexico.
New Mexico. Excellent. Anyway, let me open this up. And with that, I appreciate you watching the marginal content. We're packing up and getting out of here tomorrow, so more to follow. Again, if you have an opportunity to hit a national monument, I don't know the difference between that and a national park other than this appears smaller. So with that, we're out of here. We'll see you soon. Bye. Well, I guess that's about as good as we're gonna get. Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is a little bit of a confession. Of course, the wind kicks up just as I'm doing this. All right, let's see if this is any better. Welcome back. partially I'm making this video because I never realized that the people that are watching this video are much different, or are perceiving it differently than I perceive it. I think of it as me goofing around, marginal content, but I was on a podcast or a live stream last night with a YouTuber that I follow out of Australia, and he said to me, well, first of all, John, your videos are not nearly as marginal as I make them out to be, but I think they're marginal. The other thing he spoke to me about is, if you're in Australia, in the same way I watch a lot of content from other countries, if you're in Australia, he's watching the content to see what we're up to, and he's as interested in our kind of local climate and geography. Sorry about the wind. This is really bad. Hang on. We're gonna fall over here in a minute.